All right, here are two of the things I do um, after I do my own service at home. Um, After maybe driving for maybe a day or two. It's not really specific to mileage or anything, but maybe a day or two or even a week after driving it. Definitely, I want to go back, check the oil. Um, so after you're giving your car a little bit of time to let your oil settle in effectively, I typically go back and check the oil. When I checked on this car just now, it's a 2015 Honda Accord Sport. Again, it's on a level surface. I just checked it and it was like halfway in between the low and the high mark. So even if you get your car serviced at a dealership or something, it takes little or no time to actually check your oil yourself. Let me see. It's actually all over the place, you know. So we'll reinsert it, try again. Let's see. Yeah, it's slightly below the full mark. So I'm gonna add a little bit of oil, then recheck it. Something else I do recommend doing is some people will use just an impact and go to town on their lug nuts. That's just gonna potentially warp your rotors, or even damage your studs or something. So again, before I dump this oil in there, because I have two different cars here and I'm using two different types of oil for both. I'm just going to verify the cap with the bottle. SAE OW20 is the correct version, so I know I'm good. I'm not dumping the wrong oil, even though I have an Acura and a Acura TL and a Honda Accord, both Honda vehicles, but they use different weight oil. So just gonna, and I'm not using a funnel with this one because it's not that serious. I'm not gonna miss this hole right here. So I'm just gonna dump a small bit in there. I don't want to overfill. It's best to be under the mark than be over the mark. So after we did that, we just want to recheck our oil. I mean, you can run the car for a little bit, let it sit again, or however you like doing it, but I'm just going to recheck it right here, and it should be good. But we'll wipe off the first time around, reinsert all the way, and let's see what we find out. All right, that looks closer, if not to the top of the upper mark on here. So like I said, after I change my oil at home, I always come back a day or two later, or whatever interval you want to establish, and check the oil, seeing if it's at the proper level. Same if you did a transmission or something, you definitely want to check those. So seeing that I'm here already, I noticed that the windshield washer reservoir there get kind of low, and I'm not using a funnel. Typically I use a funnel when I'm doing all this, so I don't like spill anything, but I'm just gonna dump some stuff in here, top it up. Cool. And the last thing that I normally do is I'll check the lug nuts. I typically use a torque wrench, and I think I went off topic there, but with the lug nuts, I typically use a torque wrench initially to set my torque. Some people will just go to town with an impact. I like I was saying initially, I don't know where I went off subject, but go to town with an impact. Some people use torque sticks that closely represents the torque of the tires or the lug nuts. This is 80 foot-pounds. I use a digital torque wrench. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of tedious going all the way around. I'll personally rather use a click style torque wrench, because you hear the click, 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 and you stop, versus you're always trying to like get that finesse torque with a digital torque wrench. But nonetheless, I always come back like I did earlier before I did this oil. Check all the lug nuts, make sure they're still torque to spec. And in another video, and partly why I did that too is because the car got new tires like last 2 days ago. So I wanted to verify that the wheels were torqued back to some kind of relative spec to what they should be. So that's partly why I did it. Not that I didn't trust my work, but I typically do it anyway when I do my own oil change. And like I said, even if you take your stuff to the dealership, simple stuff like checking the oil should be something that everyone knows how to do. It's literally looking between two indicators, making sure the oil is there, and if it's not there, add the specific oil. And like I showed you, it's on the cap, the type of oil that you need. I started doing my own service because quite frankly, I lost confidence in most mechanics. There are good ones out there, definitely, but I definitely lost confidence in the ones I went to, and some were franchises and some were dealerships. I mean, I've been to places where I've had great jobs done, and I mean, I'm still having the after effects where my brakes are still squeaking, and I'm thinking about just replacing them with genuine parts, because I don't know what the hell they did or what kind of part they used. So I'm just gonna run them down, live with it for now until I get around to replacing them. But I started learning about my own car. I've had people like put what do you call it, a rag. They left a rag in the engine filter box here, engine air filter. So I actually almost luckily it didn't get sucked into the engine or something. But yeah, there was like a used shop rag in there. I don't even know what led me to check it after I got car service, but just a bunch of stuff that led me to lose confidence in them. And obviously there's some stuff that, I mean, I'll have to take my car to the shop, but for the most part, I'll try to do it myself, learn. Yeah, but anyway, that's that. Just want to tell you, recheck your oil, and if you want to take it a step further, check the torque on your tires. And something I also did was, like I said, I took it to get some new tires, and I did check the tire pressure. And since it's cold where I'm at right now, I did check it with the cold specs for this car, per the little sticker there on the door panel, on the driver's side door panel. Like, it breaks down all the different like temperatures or that your tires should be set to. So I just went around and checked those. Anyway, that's just a little video on considerations that you want to take into account. Anyway, boom.